El on him.
Hello, everybody. This is your man, Jay Takashi, guys. I'm here joined today with my man, my fellow anime brother, Jericho, man. How you doing today, Jericho?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Just one day off, but just recharging myself. So I'm doing quite fine. And today, guys, like I said, our anime podcast, guys, we're gonna be talking about multiple things tonight. We're gonna be talking some Heavenly Delusion, probably one of the top 3 best anime to come out this season. We're gonna do some manga talk, and then also the last one will be a surprise. Other than that, guys, sit back and enjoy the show, and let's get right into it. All right, just making sure like the volume's not too much. Always let me know if the music's too much, Jericho. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
All right, perfect. I don't know why I feel low. Okay, so guys, so Heavenly Delusion. Let's get into it. Well, Jericho, man, you've seen Heavenly Delusion, have you not?
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 to 3 episodes, but I have read the manga significantly decent amount, so okay. I'm aware of what is currently going on right now.
Well, just to help you out, so we don't go too far. Newest episode, they actually touched up on Dr. Usumi with the girl that lost her. No,
yeah,
up around that town. If you read past that, I know you'll be fine. But I guess we'll start from 1 to 8, basically. So let me ask you a question. What were your initial thoughts of Heavenly Delusion?
So for starters, definitely I thought it was a breath of fresh air, I guess you could say. Obviously, it's production IG, it's common production IGW, but it's just the art style is just very refreshing because we're so used to how many art styles have been very, I wouldn't say basic, but it's just they all are similar and nothing really stands out too much. And then like the only ones recently that are standing out are they would have to be, aside from Demon Slayer, it would be Mashal and obviously Heavenly Delusion. Those 2 in particular have the most unique art style, and then obviously Isekai Cheat Skill, that one. But the most unique ones right now are those 2, and obviously Heavenly Delusion is kind of at the top right now in terms of where it's at. But another aspect of it is just how good the animation is so far. Like, it hasn't strayed far from it at all. First episode was gorgeous, and I love the direction it's going in, as well as from someone who's read the manga, they've definitely added a lot more to I guess you could say the tone of the series by adding extra scenes that weren't included in the manga. So it's really well done. The soundtrack's great, and I'm enjoying everything, especially the cast for the 2 main characters, Maru and Kiruko. Those 2 are doing a really good job right now.
Yeah, So I'm gonna give my thoughts. So I really love it. I really love the animation style. I love the art style. I love the choreography, and I also think that the music is very nice. The themes that they show in Garner are amazing, and also the first 3 episodes felt like a fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be certain scenes in the anime. I'm talking about like not from episode 1. I'm talking about more so like 2 and 3. Felt like an actual movie. Felt like a movie. So where like there's one scene when they're in the dark and you actually see this creature that they're finding. The way it pops up and looks how it's shot looks like movie quality, as if I'm watching a freaking cinema movie. And I freaking love that. And the two main characters are holding it down for me. They're the most intriguing. But guys, I think but let me get into some things that I think is a strength, and I think that are weird but work. Man eaters. Like I think how they're depicted, how they're shown, the uniqueness of how they're drawn, how the animation makes them all like lobby like to where it feels like I'm watching Akira sometimes. That's what it reminds me of. And they do a really good job of expositioning different how they look. And how the two main characters react whenever they encounter one, and just like the sheer fright that it gives you, but also like like how brave these two are in order to do what they need to do in order to take one out. Also, I want to say the backstory with guys, this is spoilers, but hey, we'll get into it. The fact that the concept that we've gotten when someone's not in their actual body and they're in someone else's, I think is done to perfection with this one. What I'm finding just like funny that this guy doesn't care that technically yes, physically I'm a girl, everything's there, but my brain is mine. And the main dude don't give a damn. He still fucking finds her attractive, even with all that said. It still goes for it. That's fucking hilarious to me. It's genius. It's well put together, and it's some shit that I don't slightly. Let me say that slightly, but yeah, I really love that aspect of the show right there. That they're that he's in his sister's body, and his sister tried to save him and try to pull his body out. But that whole experience was horror dramatic when she pulls him out of that man-eater creature. It's like crazy. It's freaking crazy. And also the realization of what happened to you afterwards when he wakes up in his sister's body, you're like, exquisitely well written. Execution is hidden. I mean, the intent, the execution, and the theme, and also putting the expression were all on key when they did that. And I was like, okay, so we're turning it to that type of story. Okay. And this is just for the characters outside the quote unquote ruins of Tokyo. The children inside, they're inside this kind of like wall, like separated from I want to say humanity, that are protected and some shit. Have no idea what's going on, and I think that's one of the bars that's like selling it for me, because I'm getting two different stories, or two different characters. On one hand, you're saying, I don't know her name, the main girl inside the wall. What's her name?
The main girl inside the I think it's Tokyo.
Tokyo. She we're kind of like understanding like her and her friends, like who she surrounds herself with. Also, like kind of like how their daily activity just seems like plain and boring, but they have enough in there, enough stuff to keep themselves entertained, because it seems like they're doing like roundabout classes like an everyday like child, without like having a clue to what's going on outside. So I'm thinking that's good, but I think I said good, not great. I think what's great is the other two main characters, because we're switching back and forth so much, but it never feels like like I'm mad you guys pulled away. I don't actually have that problem when they do that. I think it's fine for this series, unless something major is going on with the girls with Tokyo and her friends inside the wall they're in. Then I think it's properly executed and makes sense if you're trying to show a different side of the story, and also if what the two characters are doing on different ends tie into each other, or will it tie into each other? But Jericho, go ahead, continue, man. What do you what are the at least like I'll say who are your favorite characters, and also what else do you like about the story? You can include the manga. You left off that.
Yeah, so what I really enjoy about the series is how it's showing two entirely different dynamics for one that's obviously what's going on with the people inside heaven, the kids inside heaven, and then also what's going on outside the walls. And I really enjoyed the interaction between Maru and Kiruko. I like all those interactions between them, and I love the creature design. The creature design for the monsters; those are so good, right. And it's just the uncanny, eerie feeling when you're looking at them. But also another thing I really enjoy is, well, for one, I would have to say my favorite character would have to be. It's kind of between Maru and another character. Hold on, what was his name? Trying to remember his name. Anyways, they're a character that that hasn't been.
Hasn't been revealed yet.
No, they have.
There hasn't been at least for the 8 episodes, there wasn't a more introduced Dr. Usami Lewis episode. That's about it.
Yeah. But definitely but one of my favorite characters is definitely Maru. I'm trying to remember what the other character's name is, but I'll probably remember it at some point. But yeah, I like Maru. I like Maru's interactions specifically. And also, it's just like there's always more red herrings as you're learning more about him, just to find out more things. And I really enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this because let me ask you a question without trying to spoil me. I'll say this: doesn't look like Maru and Tokyo are like siblings? They look the same. One just has longer hair than the other.
Yeah. And I don't know how far it's gone in the anime, but yeah, there's definitely something that's a huge reveal.
Okay.
Further on.
And I will say this: it's not. It's crazy. Like we just got revealed that humans can turn into man-eaters.
Yeah.
Man, I said man. Is it man-eaters? Right? Man-eaters. I'm correct. I don't know why, but I think man-killer. That's just crazy. But man-eaters, and with the I think like I said, you got past it. Where newest episode that came out, it was revealed that this girl who had her limbs all cut off, and Dr. Usami said like she's on the verge of becoming one. So I mean, if she doesn't die, Maru, got to her and said like, I know you have the ability to kill man-eaters. Like she wants to go out her way, and it was just. Let's just say how this episode 8 was filmed. It was beautifully shot. It was full of sadness, tragedy, and also just loss. But also trying to do a final request for someone who's never seen die. I think that's, like I said, the themes are powerful, and I think that, like I said, execution is always hidden every episode for me. When it comes to some of these concepts or quote unquote barriers or adversity that these characters in the face. They do a really good job of executing it very well. Like I'm actually rooting for these two to actually find what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, but let's keep it real. It's the little brother inside his sister's body. In his brain.
Yeah, it's funny though because like I remember I was thinking, okay, I see these two probably working out sometime in the future, and then they drop the ball that they just dropped that massive ball saying that Kiriko is actually not Kiriko, but is the little brother, and I'm just sitting here like, well, damn.
He said, "Well, damn."
Okay. So much for the ships. The ships have sailed.
I mean, I think that shit will still sell. This is crazy coming from me. Because to me, this isn't. I won't get into that toxic talk. And here's the reason why I can't bring that up without saying something. It's not like the brother's still a man. He is a woman, and like full on woman. It's just the brain is transferred over. Like I said, I've seen that over in two different animes. I've seen that in. That was executed very well, and it's just that it's so crazy because it doesn't have a man's voice. And his sisters, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you wouldn't listen. You wouldn't have given a damn until he came out and told that dude, told Maru. And I'm just finding this like the whole interaction is funny because there was one episode where he actually kissed her because she was like unconscious and shit to make sure that she had some air because it seemed like she was out of oxygen because she was suffering from a man eater hallucination. And he tried to go in for another kid. So I don't think he give a fuck. First, I think Mario doesn't give a fuck, personally. As long as you still reveal his body and shit like that, it don't matter to him. And he still calls her Nate-san. I still find that very interesting. It would have been Nichan, but I'm like, it would be so out of character to say that. So yeah, I do. So like, I like that. I like that actually interaction because it does make it a little weird, but it's funny though. And I know you would agree with that. Like, it is funny. And ship wise, I think it might still happen. I'm not banking on it more so, but I would not be mad if that happened. I'm like, hey man, y'all live in a it'd be crazy. Y'all live in a whole world full of creatures now. And also, okay, so here's the other aspect. Did you notice? Because I know you haven't watched any episodes, but you read it. That means you got past part. There'll be flat out scenes where Kiriko is flat out naked in front of dude. It's not like shy and weird. Yeah. It's just like, and then Maru is just like, wait, what? If she had a memory back, she would not walk out like that. I guarantee you. Only a dude would like walk brazen, like whatever, dude. And it's just like because he has the mindset of like, let's whatever, do this, whatever. And Maru's just like, it's fucking crazy. I just saw her like fucking body, like it's crazy. So he's still physically turned on by her, regardless of anything, mentally and physically. So it's just, it'd be crazy. It'd be like a girlfriend told you that she got implants after you guys got done having your play. Yeah, right. And I'm like, what? She was like, oh, I just got implants. I'm like, what? You just fucked my whole head.
I'm still uncertain on how it would go. I think it would just eventually end at a point to where they're just like, they just deeply care about each other in the very end. Because obviously, Kiriko is Kiriko, and then you have Maru, and then obviously Maru's still gonna have feelings towards her because that's just
because he felt them, and like it was so crazy. In 2 episodes, he actually admitted that, which is really crazy. At least it didn't take forever to say some shit. I want to say this. I applaud Maru for actually confessing. I don't appreciate you trying to lay a move on her because we didn't know if that was full on girl yet. But I respect that you confessed and leave that because I gotta wait like 10 episodes in every fucking series for this shit to happen. No, not 12. I'm sorry, 10 times longer, and that shit gets annoying. At least he said, "Yeah, I really do like you. I'm attracted to you. I think you're a nice person, and I do feel something for you." So I do appreciate Maru's like actual honesty and things like that. But also, Maru's an interesting character because he can actually just kill a man eater just by physically touching it and just destroying the core on the inside. And I think in some way maybe it scars him a little bit when he does it. But with the newest episode I watched, I know that would hurt him a lot. But he did it as a mercy, similar to Goblin Slayer. Whenever that witch in the first episode where she gets paralyzed from these goblins and stuff, and she says, end me, and he's like, that's my request, like do that, end me, and I'm like, and he does it because it's a form of mercy, so the goblins don't take her body and do it and have fun time with it and shit. So it's just like, I mean, Delusion I love the character interaction a lot between the two main characters. I really love that. Tokyo and their interactions, um, they're okay. I don't think they're bad. I just think they're okay. Like unless something extreme goes on in that area, 'cause I haven't read the manga, but from what I watched, it's I'm waiting for something to happen to that happen on that other end. Besides Tokyo and the painter guy getting busy in bed, which by the way, that that tells me that she's comfortable enough that she likes that guy, that she's willing to do that, and also that he cares about her enough to actually that we will do this, but it's under the pretext that you're okay with this. So it's just like that. When the first time I saw that, I was like, bro. It comes as a result that this will happen between man and woman. I don't give a damn in what environment you're in. It will eventually happen, even especially when young kids start developing, like from 13 to 16, it'll start happening.
Yeah.
So, and to me, I saw that as like, yeah, that's what happens when you fucking get older, and also when they're when you make girl interact with man or man interact with girl, it'll happen regardless of anything. Even this one guy who has like a crush on this little weird, like, Ditzy, I want to call her, she's not Kudere. She seems very lightheaded like Ami. The difference is Ami's not hyperactive. I mean, she's not hyperactive like Ami. You know when I say Ami, I mean from Mega Man Cafe. But yeah, like their interactions, unless something big goes down, I really am caring for like Kiriko and freaking and Martin story, because I'm always interested in what they encounter, and also how they find Dr. Inazaka or the other guy. So overall, my assessment of Heaven's Delusion is really, really fucking good. I think it's a 9 personally. I ain't gonna give it 8.5. I'll give it a fucking 9. Your animation, your choreography, your themes, your execution, I think they do very well for that to be as good as it is. The animation company that picked it up, shout out to them for doing it. Shout out to the voice actors, voice actresses, aka seiyus. Yeah, they said they're doing a good job every week for me watching them. I look forward to watching them every time I get a day off. It's like the first thing I actually watched. But Jericho, your final thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how the adaptation will keep going, and once it gets to the point of where I stopped reading, then obviously I'm going to continue watching, or I might just continue reading. It just depends. But yeah, I'm looking forward to how it'll keep progressing.
Okay. Sorry about that. Now with that being said, guys, we're gonna transition into our next topic, guys. So we're gonna be talking about, since he brought up the manga, we're gonna be talking about some mangas, particularly recommendations. And I have my list right here of ones I want to recommend for certain people. But Jericho, I want you to name down a list of yours while I pull mine up, and I want you to talk about each one. And let me know if you need a minute to get it ready.
Hold on, say that one more time. My headset went out.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So I said we're gonna get into some manga talk, like we're recommending some manga for you, for the audience. And then I said you're gonna go first, because I'm gonna pull up my list, and I want you to go through each one that each one, and explain it to them, what the synopsis is about, and also recommend it to them.
Yeah, sure thing. I'll pull up a list real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up mine, because I actually, what's so funny? I'll have it all bookmarked on my computer right here. So give me a second. Give us a second, guys. Oh shit! Be damned. Marnez 10. Be damned. Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Draco, you still put up your list?
Yeah, I got my list up.
Yeah, I got mine right here. I'm gonna recommend 10 to 12 for you guys. Action, romance, and some comedy. But they're kind of like intertwined together. There's one I'm trying to find. One I'm trying to find the name of right here, and I always go to it, so I'm just gonna click on it real quick. But while I'm looking for that, Mr. Jericho, man, would you take it from here and give him your list?
Yeah, sure thing. So I just got a few here. Nothing too crazy. I'll leave the longer list to you. But let me just pull it up here. Okay, there we go.
Oh, and
All
also, by the way, I'm sorry, trying to have you do this, but type it in the private chat, and I'm gonna highlight it. Highlight the name.
Oh, okay. All right.
And if you want to type them all in there, then it's fine.
Yeah, I'll type them all in here. So we can go down the list.
Yeah, we'll go down the list of each one.
There we go. Oh, didn't copy one of them. Let me put that in there real quick before I send it.
I got you.
Come on, copy it. There we go. Okay.
It's funny. I know you said copy, but it sounded like you said coffee. Wait, question? Do you actually drink coffee?
Yeah, I do drink coffee. I mostly drink it black though, because
Hey, you one of those?
Yeah, because I drink it black because I do intermittent fasting. So it's a hunger suppressant.
I got you.
Yeah, but anytime I don't drink it black, all I'll do is I'll just get like a spoonful of honey and I'll mix that in there, and that's it. Maybe a little bit of heavy cream, but that's it. That's all I do.
Oh, okay. Trust me, my brother is a big coffee fanboy, and I told him to cut back a little bit because that hurts your stomach a little bit, but also just yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you know how much you're intaking, I don't think it's an issue, at least in my mind.
Oh, I misspelled that. Okay. All right, there we go. I put it in there. Oh, I should probably put commas between those because it all looks like one thing.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me put commas between them. Okay, there we go.
All right. So we'll start with someone on top. Okay, there we go. For Ball Girls. Is that the one? Okay. Oh wait, is that the whole title?
Yep, Super Ball Girls.
All right, I'm gonna copy and paste this in a second. Copy. All right, I got it.
All right, nice.
Floor is yours.
All right, so the first one is called Super Ball Girls. Now, obviously the name sounds a little weird, right? But this is actually a collaboration between Hiramoto Akira, which is the creator of Prison School, and Kaneshino Muneyuki, who is the creator of Blue Lock. Yeah, so both of them collaborated to make this series, and essentially, what's the best way to describe it? So, a good what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, synopsis. A synopsis of this is that essentially the main character, he works at a chocolate factory, and one Christmas there's this Super Ball that appears in front of him, and what happens with this Super Bowl is hold on, I'm trying to explain it in a way that makes sense but also doesn't make sense, because that's kind of how the introduction of this series is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, all right, here, let me okay, there we go. Okay, so essentially so like I said before, he's just this guy who works at a chocolate factory, and he goes ahead, and one day he comes home, he finds this Super Ball just rolling around, and when he touches the Super Bowl, just out of nowhere, whenever he bounces the ball, and then out of nowhere, this long-haired woman just appears and then falls into his arms. So that's how it starts, right?
Right. And
the whole premise is that, it's actually, like, believe it or not, it's actually within the horror genre, because the guy who I mentioned before, the one that's doing Blue Lock, he's actually the writer for Blue Lock. He's not the artist.
Okay.
He also wrote Jagan, which is another manga. And so it's kind of one of those. So it's like, yeah. So it has some ecchi. It's funny. Has the harem aspect to it, and at the same time, it also has like some horror elements in it. And it's hard to describe it without giving away too much, because it's just one of those where, I would just say go in there without any expectations. If you like X, Y, and Z, then just read this. I'm not going to give you any more elaboration on that. So yeah, if you like harem, if you like so if you like harem, you like a little bit of horror, and you do enjoy the ecchi and the seinen genre, then yeah, definitely check Super Ball Girls out. All right, now the next one is honestly probably one that I only started reading recently, and that was because I didn't even know about it till recently. It actually just showed up in my feed one day because I was going through the recent updates, like what recently got a new chapter, and that's a Rebuild World. So this manga is based around what's called hunters, not like solo leveling hunters, but so these hunters are essentially these people that go into ruined cities, because this is in a dystopian world where it takes place. So they go into ruined cities trying to find any tech or anything that's still around and sell it for profit, or just to use it. They call them artifacts.
Yeah.
So it's like ancient technology. So think of it like if Atlantis was like a thriving, was essentially like the world. It was thriving, and then dystopian future, everything had crumbled down, and there's only like people who are getting the scraps that are left. That's where it takes place with the main character. He's just looking around, and then out of somewhat similar premise here, just while he's exploring and someone's out to kill him, he meets this girl named Alpha, who's not even an actual person, but instead a hologram or some sort of AI that actually assists him, and both helping him survive as well as promising to help him find more artifacts.
Okay.
Because she has a specific mission that she needs help to complete, and she needs his help. And what's interesting is how she's able to predict all, because I wouldn't say manipulate, but she can predict how all the technology that's still active works, because there are so in these like slums and all that, there are these mecha like robot dogs or whatever that just go around hunting people down and killing them. I think they're called sentinels or something. They're like, there's bioweapons and all that. So she's able to predict them and help him traverse this world, as well as help him find artifacts that will help him with the journey.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's just like a developing relationship as well within that, and it's just it's kind of refreshing, because you don't really see a lot of stories nowadays where they take place in a dystopia world, but it's based around a main character who's just basically, obviously, like, you know, just trying to survive, but he just meets an AI that that offers him a deal to help him get a better life, and he takes a lot of risks throughout the series. He's just a lot of nice character development, and not to mention the art is gorgeous for the environmental art. It is beautiful. Yeah, I think the guy who did the art for it, I'm trying to think of something else he worked on that some people might have heard of. I think it was called Red Garden. I could be mistaken, but yeah, Red Garden was one of the works that he had done. But boys, that's Rebuild World. The next one is actually a manhwa. It's called Player. So Player is, honestly, I would recommend this to anyone, really. So Player takes place, you know, in the real world, and obviously because it's a manhwa, it's going to take place in Korea. So there's just this guy. He's reading a webtoon, ironically, and while he's reading this webtoon, he gets irritated at the fact that the main character of this webtoon is about to face the strongest person in this world of the webtoon he's reading, and he gets beaten. And so he makes a comment saying, "If I was in this world, I would have beat this character." And then someone who is watching him read it says, "Okay." And what's funny is that the main character, he actually left a comment on that webtoon saying what he would have done. He says, if this gets X amount of likes, I will beat this character. And then suddenly that comment just starts getting a whole bunch of likes. Then out of nowhere, he just appears right in front of the person he said he was going to beat. And instinctive, obviously he's not going to win, because he's just a normal guy. He gets killed, and then he meets the god of the world, that the webtoon that he's reading, and that god's name is Arthur, and in reference to King Arthur.
King Arthur, yeah. I'm like, Arthur King.
And so essentially he kind of makes a deal with Arthur, saying, okay, I can't remember specifically what the deal was, because I haven't. It's been a while since I've read the first several chapters, but he makes a deal with him to try and beat. He needs to. I think he needs to beat or he needs to beat this character in order to go back to his old world. If I'm not mistaken, it might be something else. But before he's sent out, Arthur actually gives him a weapon to help him, and that weapon is Excalibur.
Of course.
And what's cool?
Wait for you to tell me Excalibur. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and what's cool about Excalibur is that it's a living weapon. So it actually is like a girl that is a physical incarnation of Excalibur, and then whenever he uses Excalibur, it turns into a sword. But because he's just a basic human, when he tries to use Excalibur, it doesn't even like take the form of a nice sword. It's like a dagger at the beginning.
Dagger?
Yeah. So essentially what's being proposed is that as he continues to get stronger, Excalibur will return to her true strength because she forms dependent on the wielder. So whenever she's being used by obviously Arthur, she's going to be in her best form. Versus her with the main character. And then obviously he meets a bunch of cool characters. And what's really awesome is the art style. The art style of Player is amazing. Because obviously whenever you think of webtoons or even animes or manga, you have a specific art style that you think of in your head. And then whenever you read Player, it has a mix between a comic art style and a manga art style, and then bring in a very simplistic art in terms of how character design is. So it's like those three combined, and it's just it's chef's kiss in my opinion, because for one, the fights are amazing, the action sequences, and it's just really, really refreshing to read it, because whenever you see everything go down, you just can't help but get really hyped because of as well as how they develop all the characters. It's so well done, and I love it. I can't get over it, and it's on hiatus right now, unfortunately. But I binged that whole thing. I've been
okay. I got you.
Yeah. It is really, really good. I definitely recommend it to everyone.
All right, Jericho. Let me get two off because you said you already did two. Okay, guys. All right. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go. So, guys, this one is a romance, a mature one, and it's created by our boy CO Coach, and it's called Kimi Iro no Machi. And it's basically in English, it means a town where you live. I read this series when I was in college. This thing already had 217 chapters or 201 at the time. And don't worry, it was never an anime at the time, guys. This is way before that. And it's basically also slice of life. It's also a fact that this is probably one of the best romances I've ever read. It's my number one in terms of manga. Anime, they butchered it, so I don't recommend anime at all. I recommend reading. So it's basically a series where you have this main character named Haruto. I won't say his whole name. And he meets his girl Yuzuki, and throughout, and it's basically like a journey from where they started to where they go. Like it's literally a character developing series. It's actually character, romance, ecchi driven, but more of the character driven, because we get exposition on all the characters that he runs into, but also his childhood friends who support him and support him in going to get her after she suddenly disappears, because they were together for a while. Like, he rode on his bike with him. She spent time with him, and also he realized he had feelings for her, which was another thing. And then also it turned out that she planned on moving back without him ever knowing, things like that. But when he found out where she was, they continued to visit. And then after a while, they broke it off, and then she disappeared and said like she can't be with him anymore. And then that's when he made a conscious decision to move to Tokyo, to to actually go find him. Go from school, transfer schools from his place to their place, and then all the while he meets these people, which, by the way, the dude. Okay, so the guy that ended up being his friend, I actually do like him. I did like him because he said like, "Yo, man, hopefully you find a girl, man. I got your back. Hopefully you'll get it back and things like that." Little do you know, quote unquote, such actions or the ironic twist is that this dude that's his friend manages to be the person that is dating his ex-girlfriend. He didn't even know it. He didn't even know. Neither ever knew. They were just close friends. And also the fact that his buddy that they actually end up being rivals to the point where we're still being friends. That to the point where when we find out the main character passes away, it hurts the main character. No, the main character finds out that his friend passes away. It hurts him. It devastates him. Where he's like, bro, like, it sucks. And not only does it affect him, it affects her too. To the point where it's like, well, I won't roll with you or more so over it. So I'm going to live out my life the way I see fit. And it takes him a while to figure out what he wants to do with his life. But him as a character, him helping his friends, him actually being as close as he was to that person, really opened new avenues to his life, and also people to really show how much of a guy of a good person he is. And like I said, his friends like Akari and Kosuke. I think it's Kosuke, or I forget. No, because Kosuke was the friend he met in school. One of his other childhood friends. And like I said, it's just a really good journey of romance, ecchi, slice of life, and comedy. Fucking love it all. Not to mention they created special chapters of who he loses his virginity to. Fucking love that. I have the whole freaking thing in my freaking tablet just to read that series. It's one of my favorites. It's freaking excellent. The artwork's awesome. The romance is awesome. The pacing is fine. I love it. I actually love the pacing. I used to rush to read this shit every freaking week. Every week or 2 weeks this will come out. And guess what? This might be the only manga I get all in Japanese. Seriously. So, hold on, guys. I'm gonna try to type it down for you. It's actually more of a mature romance because they actually go into adulthood. So from high school all the way to college to adulthood. So I recommend that for everybody, and I would think that Jericho, have you have you read this series like I did?
Hold on just 1 second. I'm looking at it because it sounds very familiar.
No, it's made by the same guy that made freaking Megamino Cafe Terrace. This is actually his best one.
I have not read it. I have not.
Please read it. Please read it. I promise you you'll like it. Now, I'm going to say this. Now, I do want to say this. One chapter is going to piss you off. Want to know why? There was no need for it. So, as perfect as a series I think it is, it has one fuck up. And I still think it's perfect. That's all I'm saying. It might have one or two if you really think deep about it, but I think it only really has one. And I think it's the best romance I've ever read in my life. And it's a mature one. It's like 271 chapters. But yeah, if you look at it, yeah. Now I'm gonna recommend another one for you guys while you look for it. Hold on. And this is an interesting one. I'm just gonna give the synopsis to this one. Because only 74 chapters are out right now, and I'm glad I discovered this one. Well, let's just say if you've seen Sakura no Quiz here, how does dude get his power up? So guys, listen. You have this character. Sorry about that. So you have this character who was kind of put. Who technically is weird because it's like an Isekai. So it's a series called. The series is called Shinju no Nectar. One of my favorite names, actually. I love it. and it's an action drama, fantasy, mature romance shonen. I don't know why I had shonen in there, but he's the main character. So yeah. Oh my gosh, give me a second. Okay, so we have the main character. He's a guy that got put into another world, and also he was summoned there, and he's tasked like I said, he's tasked by this great general who's called Kai, and to look after this princess, and he's known for being the right hand man or guard to this princess. Who technically has a split personality, and he sacrifices his life in order to save the princess. But amongst the while, he trains. He trains. I mean, before he goes, he does learn things about him, quote unquote, the person he worked for, things like that, how much he had an influence on him for a period of time, and then he decides to adopt the identity of the General Kai. And he's making allegiances. He's going to war with other countries. Well, not war, but he's fighting in the midst of these other countries, and because it's very political, not extremely, but very political, very ecchi, and very action based. So by him being summoned, these princesses have nectar inside their bodies, and the nectar comes from let's just say the mountains of beauty. Let's just say that it comes from there, and as he drinks the sweet nectar from it, it turns him into an actual and by the way, whatever element or region they're in, particularly whatever the women are born from, he gets the element. He transforms into that specific element. He gets control of it. And I want to actually give you guys a scan of what he transforms into. My goodness, hold on. If I could just show you guys. Hold on, give me a second. And I'm gonna talk to you guys while I'm looking for it. Okay, so like I said, he transforms into a quote unquote a like beast monster, literally like humanoid beast monster, and he just like goes full on AWOL on everybody, like not even close. Like when he's against a massive horde of armies, he'll do like a giant fireball attack, and he'll like splee burst through somebody and just devastate armies. It's crazy, and like you get further exposition of why he's able to do what he's able to do, and why the girls who nectars who he drinks from, they all love him. All the princesses, or quote unquote, of each quote unquote, I won't say nation, but different parts of like the kingdom and stuff really love him. And once he drinks from their nectar, they pretty much have a connection together. So yeah, it's a good story. Ecchi's really good. Romance is good to an extent. I'm waiting, like I said, waiting for girls to make their moves on them. One girl in particular is making her move, and I'm loving the water girl. She's my favorite. Mermaid girl's my favorite right now. But check it out, guys. Shinju no Nectar is freaking amazing. Oh no, let me tap it down for you guys. And by the way, guys, it has 76 chapters. Shinju no Nectar. Jericho, you there?
Yep.
Oh yeah. I said you got really solid on me, but if you have any questions for me for that one, just check it out. You can.
I actually already have that in my plan to read. It's actually next on my list.
Oh, dude, I keep saying watch. Go read it. You'll enjoy it. I actually enjoy the story. Main character is not making me mad. He's actually being a little bit more daring. He's soft. Okay, when I say soft at first, he learns to toughen up and actually makes a stand for himself, and also does things. He's not like a wimpy bitch. He just didn't know how to do combat for a minute. So, but I do love him. I'm like, dude, he actually grew. I'm like, that's the best thing about this character. I love the main character. Yo, man, every girl wants to sink their teeth into this dude. Not like vampire-like style. The other type of style. So yeah. But yeah, they do. And I'm really enjoying it, man. Like, this is like one of the harems. I'm like, yo, this is a W right now. You might just coast. No, he hasn't smashed anyone, guys. But hey, man, he's getting to that point. It's so much more about just the girls and the things like that. Like, that's a benefit of you reading it. It also plays deep into the nations of how they take on armies that's threatening other kingdoms, things like that. But making alliances with the guy that he works with. Like, I'm loving all that. Like, all the combination all together, it's like a solid 8.8. Might actually give it a 9, to be honest. Well, I'll give it a 9 once he like says they're all mine. Once he does that, I'll give it a 9. But 8.8 for me right now. So Shinji no Nectar, guys, check it out. Jergo, do you have any more? Or is that okay? Go right ahead.
All right. So the next one here, I'll put it in here so that way you can copy and highlight it. So the next one that I recommend is called Kanan-sama wa akumade shoroi or shoroi.
Yeah.
So the English name for it is Kanan-sama is as easy as hell. So essentially, the premise takes place with Kanan, which is one of the protagonists. Well, she technically is the main character. She's the daughter of the demon lord, and she infiltrates a high school to, devour souls. So, and she sets her sights on her first prey, which is a student, and what happens is she goes, "Thank you for coming," and then she's like dictates that she's going to feast on his soul. He misinterprets it as some sort of play, like a fetish play, and so he immediately accepts. He's like, "Thank you so much for this. You're even into cosplay and everything," because she flaunts her horns, and it's hilarious because of how it all plays out. Because first off, she doesn't realize that he misinterpreted it, and she's like, wait. And then he's like, should I start stripping? And he starts like taking off his clothes and stuff. He's like, wait just a minute. And it gets to a point where, they end up dating because she's like really easy to please from like compliments and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like saying, I fall in love with you. Can we at least start out dating? And then she goes, "Oh, I guess we can." And then it's a bunch of those funny moments where she tries to basically turn him into a servant, but it's not working in her favor because she ends up realizing, oh, well, he's actually very attractive. Oh my gosh, he's actually very nice. Oh, I think I'm falling for him and stuff like that. It's really good because you also get introduced to new characters that correlate to the story. Like, one of her servants shows up. She's a dark-skinned queen, by the way. And there's also I think she's a succubus too. And then there's another character who's like a holy maiden or an angel that came down to get rid of Kanon, but she doesn't realize it's Kanon at first because she's an airhead. She's really stupid. And yeah, it's just really funny. The art's really good. It's also very ecchi as well. Nice. And it's a very good story overall. It's very enjoyable in the sense of, I want a nice slice of life romance ecchi to read with and I have a thing for fantasy tropes, so might as well check this one out. Yeah, so that's definitely one I would recommend for people that are looking for something like that.
Okay, and guys, I think there's 2 more I want to recommend to somebody besides a romance one. I'm debating whether I tell people to check this one out or not. But like I said, I gave you guys Kirimimachi, gave you Shinji no Nectar. I'm gonna actually give something that's actually a little controversial that I fucking love. Domestic no Kanojo. That one, the only reason why I'm going to recommend this one personally is because I have a love-hate relationship with this series. It's been completed like 3 to 4 years ago. And the main character, I just want to say this. Main character-wise, I'm so proud of the main character. He knows what he wants in life. He knows what he's working towards. And also, the man is willing to take responsibility for a lot of stuff. And he's not hateable at all. He's very likable. Now let's get into the crux of this. So, guys, if you don't know what series that is, you've seen the anime. They did it pretty well, but I want to recommend you guys reading the manga to really get into the hang of it because it is possibly a love. Like I said, it's a love-hate relationship for me. On one hand, I like it. On one hand, I two to three things I don't like, but I think it's a good read, personally. Ugh. You'll have to read the synopsis for it, but let's just say this. Let's just say that there was a girl you met that wanted to lose her virginity to you, like, and you both were virgins, and you both tried it out, and then you find out, you find out your dad's getting married to somebody, because your mom had passed away, and it's been probably like 15 years since you dated somebody, maybe 10 or 6. So, with that being said, this boy literally is told that his dad is thinking of remarrying somebody, and he says he supports his father. Well, guess what? Not only did he get a new mom, stepmother in this case, he got 2 stepsisters. And guess what? His 2 stepsisters are the teacher he's had a crush on. He's had a crush on for a long time. That's her daughter. And the one he lost his virginity to, which was a shocking surprise to him. Yeah, that shit was wild when I read that. I was like, well, that sucks to be you.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It sucks to be you.
I will say that the anime, though, like, by far has one of the best openings I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's one of the best openings. It probably best choreographed. That's it. And like I said, I watched it. But like I said, I know everything already because they already ended, and then they decided to adapt it to an anime. So I don't know if they'll follow everything to that. They'll probably jump over and skip some scenes. That's why I'm not gonna probably be a fan of that because everything needs to be shown. Personally, for me, because that's one of the things that made the series so great is that the main character had a mentor, and I'm not gonna spoil it because I'm gonna dance around it. He had a mentor I looked up so much to the point that where he changed his life and actually gave him hope and encouraged him to be the best version of himself in the career that he was pursuing, and he did it. And let's just say that there was a female, Rui, that I love so much, did something really stupid. Really stupid. But how it should have ended for me, let's just say this. How it should have ended will infuriate you. It will infuriate you. And to this day, I think there's a big controversy with it, but I think I enjoy the fuck out of that series, but also have some dislike for it. Just like things a character does. But yeah, other than that, guys, check out Domestic no Kanajo. If you're interested in that type of shit, be interested. And guys, by the way, it's not incest. I promise you, it's not. Definitely not. So just the sheer thought of it, trust me, it's not like a yikes. It's more of like, wow, what the hell just happened? That's crazy. That's what I said, sucks to be you. But other than that, that's why I said it's controversial. Let me throw it down another one. Like I said, I think we'll maybe have 2 more, and I think that'll be it. And then after that, we'll get into some extra talk, and then we'll call it a night. I'm thinking of one that people haven't thought of right now, guys. Give me a second. Like I said, I have my list, and I'm thinking about ones that no one has talked about. And I wouldn't recommend somebody to read the manga list since the anime is already out. I'm not going to do that. Hold on. Jericho, you go next.
All right. So the next one that I am going to recommend is Tokyo Aliens.
Okay. I've heard that one. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, so the premise of Tokyo Aliens is essentially that, main character, he's just your average guy in school, a little insecure. While he's on his way back from school, he gets a surprise encounter while noticing that only him and an old lady and another guy are all alone in this train cabin, and he's kind of confused. And then Next thing you know, this old lady attacks him from tentacles that are just sprawling out of her, and he gets taken away by her, and he ends up having a conversation with her, and it turns out that she's an alien, and aliens are actually present here on Earth as long as they have like a visa and stuff like that, because there's like some sort of like peace treaty between them and aliens, and she's one of them, but her thing has well, technically she's kind of like a runaway, but she's only there because she got married to a human, and she just the person who she was on the train with is actually a part of an agency that's meant to hunt down and deport these aliens or kill them if necessary. And so after this interaction, and the main character ends up meeting this guy again, who actually turns out to be going to his school. And one thing that happens is that after a while, he gets taken in for questioning because he saw that whole interaction. So one thing he finds out is while he's there is his dad was actually a part of that force and was also considered the best in that force. So he gets he's had like a very lack of motivation to do anything, and that's becomes his motivation to actually become something like his dad.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the series takes off, is that he ends up joining that force to help with the aliens.
Guys, that was Tokyo Aliens. I'm gonna make sure you guys remember that. Tokyo Aliens. Check that out. So guys, for me, I have the first 3 volumes of this book, and I'm gonna recommend this one for you guys. Hunting in Another World with My Elf Wife. This is a really good series. I picked it up on a random. No one recommended it to me. And I was always like when I stumble upon stuff myself, because it just makes it all more better for whenever I like discover something nice that I had intended to watch or maybe like give a try. But basically, guys, this is a series of a quote unquote main character whose what actually knows who stumbled to another world, and he runs into an elf. He's actually a sniper / hunter, and he stumbled upon this elf woman one day, and he ends up helping her take down a creature, and then after she quote unquote helps him, he gets injured in the process, but after he quote unquote takes her back to her village, things like that, because she's not the typical elf particularly or anything like that. The folks in her village actually wants the main character to marry her. So he ends up they end up being married, particularly, and they end up joining a guild and going on quote unquote missions. And it's kind of like, if anybody has seen Iruzuru no Kiss, it's kind of like the idea of like you're newlyweds, but you're an elf and you're a human and I'm an elf, things like that. And it's pretty much like a journey into like I said, being newlyweds, but also being hunters, fighters, and just how do we get along with each other. Similarly, like I said, I think a better comparison would be Only Guy Sensei. You seen that series? That's an older series.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean basically, please teacher in English. The Only Guy means please in Japanese. And they're like I said, she's an alien, he's a human, and they both have to be newlyweds, and it's because of the situation, and they actually end up being married to each other and actually know more about each other, things like that. I actually like that series personally. The main character actually is 18. That's the crazy thing for that series. He actually is. This guy. Oh, by the way, I'll try to show some artwork for you guys. Hold on. For you guys right here. Yeah. This shit's freaking awesome, man. Good camaraderie. His old wife is freaking amazing. She's still learning things about him. He's still learning things about her. How they work together, their camaraderie is freaking hilarious. Fucking love it. And it's just real wholesome to watch this. Like I said, you get action in here too. Don't get it twisted. There's action, romance, adventure, and isekai. So let's check it out, guys. Right here. Make sure you get the whole thing. Living in another world with my elf wife. All right, Jericho, you have the last. You have the last recommendation.
All right. Okay, so my last recommendation is called The Novels Extra. So this is actually the remake version of it. Note that, because there was one that was made before. This is also a manhwa. This was made previously, but it got canceled because I'm not entirely sure. Because sometimes whenever webtoons get canceled and get remade is because there's inaccuracies from the adaptation. But anyways, The Novels Extra, what this is based around is that the main character is transferred into a new world, of course. You can see there's a running theme here. Is transferred into a new world, but the twist is that it's in the world of a novel he had written. So he had already written this novel, so he knows what happens. He created all these characters, but here's the other twist: he's an extra, like an actual extra, a background character that doesn't even have a name.
That's crazy.
And yeah, so the premise of this is someone or something transferred him to this world, and the way for him to go back is by becoming a significant character within this world. It's almost, I guess you could say, in a sense, trying to replace the main character, but also be very, like, think of it like a support character, but someone who's very important and essential, but not the main character. So that's what he is tasked to do. And he's obviously given some traits, like, because he knows what's going to happen in the story, he's able to manipulate things to how he sees fit, as well as understanding how characters are so he can talk to them in a specific way. And he also tries to save characters from specific situations. And then there's this one factor, is that there are unforeseen variables where whoever sent him to this world makes changes to the novel, to where there are unpredicted things that happen. And so he has to try and adapt to those. And it's a really good story overall, because you get to experience this quote-unquote novel he made, while at the same time experience how he is handling all of this, and just learning more and more. Because the real, like, main driving force of this series is, aside from the main character, is learning about all these characters that he'd written. So that way you can see just, like, what kind of novel was this? How did this go? What's going to happen next? Because because there's that feeling inside, you just want to see him take over, right? But you need to also understand from his point of view, he can't just be at the top right then and there, or else something could go wrong, and the story won't be able to progress, and he won't know what's going to happen. So he's handling it very carefully in that sense, and it's a really enjoyable read. And it's got a lot of funny moments. I guess I'll throw in a bonus recommendation, because this one is actually one that I've read recently and caught up with, and at first I was reading because I thought, this might be a decent read, and I didn't think it'd be as funny as it was, because one key word, facial expressions. The facial expressions are one of the key things to this particular series. So the series is called The Greatest Estate Designer. It's also a webtoon or manhwa. Actually, it is on webtoon. Yeah, so it is a webtoon. It's called The Greatest Estate Designer. So, main character is transferred into a book he's read, or a book or a manga or a webtoon that he's read, and he is taking the place of the most hated character in the series. So he has to essentially what he does is he has to try and prevent his death, because he's a character who gets killed off, and the person who is the other main character is actually the main character of that series that he was transferred in, and that person is kind of like his bodyguard in a sense, because that's how the beginning of the story starts, is that he's the bodyguard of a really shitty kid. That's how it is. And so as soon as he appears there, he thinks, okay, I got a better idea. How about I just try and become a really rich person so I can just live a peaceful life? That's essentially what he does, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, his previous life where he did real estate related stuff, so like landscaping and such. So he uses those skills and transfers them into this new world, and then he gets other skills that allow him to analyze specific landscapes so he can know what he can develop and stuff like that. And the reason why it's so hilarious is because the main character gives no fucks and is very manipulative. So he manipulates the situation to suit him, and he makes the best facial expressions, to the point where even in the series they make comments on it, like, what's that horrendous face you just made, and stuff like that. Because a lot of us think, they made this weird looking face, it's obviously for comedic effect, but no, this is actually how his face looks whenever he does that. And it's so good. It is so good. Definitely worth the read, and it's hilarious.
Well, guys, there you have it, guys. Check out Your Greatest Estate Designer. Check out the novels extra. Check out Kanon-sama wa Akumade Choroi. Check out Shinju no Nectar. Check out Kimi no Yumachi. Rebuild World. And you heard it, man. Super Bowl girls. So, guys, with that being said, that is our anime recommendation. I hope, like I said, I hope you enjoyed that, and please check those series out. Hey, guys, and like I said, this will be a little topic me and my man Jericho will have, and then after that, we're gonna call it a night and just get out of here. Okay, Jericho. Question. A question. More. Okay, I'll say this. More of a topic, and then go into a question. I think I'll say. So let me ask you: Do you have a top 20 waifu list?
Oh yeah.
Is it up to 30 or 20?
I think if I go over like what I know, I could probably find some more to add to make it to 20.
Okay. And then the question is, would you like to do a top 20 to 30? I would say don't worry, it's gonna come sometime around September-ish. Yes, I would say September-ish, somewhere around October. The reason why I'm gonna say that is because I think what would be interesting is if we did the best girls of every season and then just put them on our 10, but also do our waifu list in general.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. Do you actually have fun in actually trying to pick out these ladies that will be on your list?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. For me, I find it very complex in a sense where like this is fun, but also nerve-wracking at the same time, because there's a lot of girls in my top 10 that kind of like changed, but like the top 1 through 3 have been the same for a long time. I've only recently 3 years ago re-edited it, but it's like I've like maybe like the 6-8 girls in there. I just re-edited a couple of spots for me. And the reason why I think the reason why people do love waifu lists is because they understand like there's so many girls out there in anime that don't get no shine or love, or that are just really, really good that you are on the bandwagon with the mainstream girls. That's why I've always said like you gotta like really dig down deep. If you made a 20 list, it should be easy. 30 is a little bit more challenging. Then you gotta know who starts off at 30 to 29.
Right.
So, like who's the least, but you don't mind them. So,
yeah, I can definitely come up with one of those lists. Even probably make like a tier list that we can use to interact with.
Oh yeah. I think a tier list is probably more entertaining, because you see the faces. Is what I want to do. So we would know where we would put where. Like I wish there was I wish that every anime girl of all time. Like for example, like Saya from Blood Plus. Nobody would actually have her, but she would be an A or S because of how she is. So things like that. I would never put her a C ever. Nah, that girl is too nice. That's a wife. Well, girlfriend to a wife. I'll say that. But yeah, if we could do a tier, I think we'll do a tier list. I think we'll do a tier list first, and then we'll do a freaking fate one. And the reason why I'm going to do that because I still have many more fights to go through to actually figure that out. And to give you guys, the audience, some more entertainment, but also some more different content you're not used to seeing over here. But yeah, like have like a bracket tournament of a waifu list. Would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think it'd be you. It would be you, me, and our man Zeno here. And I think we would actually do that, like, to make it more interesting. But I would say this is what I would say. I would say do a tier list and then do a bracket tournament. The reason why I'm gonna say that is because it will be down to votes of who we think is good. And I want to have 4 people in there so we can try to even that shit out. Personally.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, let me know if you have another anime friend that wants to join us. That actually likes anime and like Spy Blues and shit like that. That'll actually help us. Yeah, things like that. But guys, if you're interested in us doing that, just let us know. But we're gonna do it regardless because I just think it'd be all around fun to do that. And also, I think for the next thing we're gonna talk about real quick, and then we're gonna call it night. Because this popped up recently, our Isekai is ruining the anime currently. Do you think they're ruining the anime currently? Because we're in the kind of in the period of them since 2000 and I want to say 2011, since 2013, somewhere around there. Because they've been dropped every year.
There are a few that are going to be coming out as of what's out right now. There's a Isekai skill, cheat skill. There's also, what was it called? There's one that also came. Oh yeah, Dead Mount Death Play. That's another Isekai.
That's the one we're watching. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm watching that right now. I've caught up on one episode behind. I freaking love the series. I freaking love it. Freaking love it. The main character. I love his outfit that he has on because that's what I would wear. I just like how he gets under like parts of that skeleton, like literally, just fucking people up. Just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But
another one. Honestly, if you were to watch this, you might end up making a video shit talking it. It's called Kamikatsu, working for God in a godless world. That's what it is.
I'm watching that right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, that one. I'm like 2 episodes behind now. Maybe like 1, 2, 3. Maybe I got like 2 more left. But okay, I see what you mean when I watch that, and it's like a solid 7.5, but there's like some comedic aspect that it's enjoyable to it. But let me say this. You know what I want to say, right? Busty Bunny Girl.
Yep.
Man, I love the main character. I love that you're not like seeking that shit out. I love you for that. But bro, she wants you to smash. Dude, the sister's hot too. This is crazy. Like, I actually like her. That's actually the first.
Sister wants him.
Say what?
The sister wants him.
Yeah, the sister wants him. The older one, I love her too. She's beautiful, whatever she wears. But it's just like, oh my god, it's fucking crazy. And not only that, now where I'm in right now, where like these anchors are quote unquote like they wouldn't call them gods. They're trying to battle to be like gods, like to be gods of this world, things like that. When we run shit. I don't hate the twist of that. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
I didn't expect to be already dead, all this other shit. It's so crazy, man.
Yeah, I dropped it.
Yeah.
It was so bad to me because I had my friend over. He was staying over for a while, and we watched that one together. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, the amount of times we had to pause to complain and ask questions.
Yeah, ask questions.
Gosh, and I hit my limit way before he did because he dropped it after the lawnmower scene.
Well, okay, I want to say something. I was told that was like a troll, that they're doing this all purposely, like seriously. And I'm like,
no, that's the assumption. They say they have to be doing it ironically, or else.
No. That's what I was told. I'm not saying I believe it now, because you're like, dude, like this shit. I want to say that on YouTube. Just do a Viking pass away or some shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, because the only other anime that this studio has worked on, and it wasn't even solely like them, was World's Finest Assassin, and they were just
That was
helping
good,
Silverlink.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because Silverlink, and they were just like some support. They just did some support, but this is their only other solo anime that they've done. I think another one they did is like it's like an underground one that no one's watched, if I'm being honest. And then they're coming out with another one in the future, but I don't know who's gonna watch that one because I think I don't know because I haven't really heard much about it. But this one that they're working on, the only thing that's like even remotely good about it is just how nice the art is, in my opinion. And then some of the characters are really funny, but it's just that there are so many issues I have with it. I just have so many issues with it.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it just to watch it. I'm not like greatest or this is the greatest thing ever. Like I swear, it's not. It's just good animation from one time to time, and then it gets like really what the fuck. Got a lot more shit. Yeah, I understand that. This shit's crazy. And Farm Boy is fucking yo. You gotta be put into jail.
He is insane.
You gotta go.
He needs to go to jail.
Bro. You agree, right, Jericho? Yeah, you gotta go to jail, bro. You crazy. You doing too much.
But yeah, there's a what was it? I think it was called Summon to Another World for a Second Time. That's another isekai.
Yeah, dude. I think I stopped after 3, and I haven't. I might maybe drop it. I don't know.
I'd say read the manga because I was also disappointed because I like the manga. And I was really disappointed.
The animation looks so mid tier to me. Maybe not even mid. It just looks okay.
Yeah, I'd say just read the manga at that point.
Yeah. Like I enjoy the strongest Exorcist more than any of that shit. That shit was more entertaining than what I'm watching off this. I'm gonna be real about that. And that came out last lineup. I'm actually waiting for that romance to develop between him and his servant or maid chick. Like I like her.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just more entertaining. This is just like it's whatever. And that's why I said I think that's why I asked you about the Isekais. Like they're doing too much. Some are well thought out, and some are not good.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm kind of
now. I will say this, Jericho. Even though I do think differently on Black Summer with you. I haven't read the manga, but you told me the manga's superior. But I think I enjoyed what I got from that because there was never a dull moment where I'm like, okay, this is fine. But you're right. They did skip out some content that made you not like it. And I can understand that. Because if I saw that first, I'm like, where's that at? But I think as an anime, it's good. I don't think it's okay. I think it's good. I just think if they continue on where they left off, it would get more recognition because the main character's good. There's characters that support him. Also, it's not a typical just isekai for him. Like, the character's abilities are so much different from everybody else's. And this is the first time we had a protagonist. Well, but it's so funny. Challenge the hero to get his jollies and his kicks off, and I was like, dude, this dude is awesome. Like things like that, doing things like that to break normal tropes and give us new ideas. Even how I rebuild a nation, isekai, like that's different, but it's freaking great. It's phenomenal because it's not a typical. He's not a typical overpowered, freaking isekai protagonist. He's just like he's a guy who knows. He's a guy who does things based on his what's the word? Who's based off on his intelligence and his knowledge. He's more like Lelouch. So that's why I like those isekais are really really good. I haven't read the light novel or the manga to that one, but yeah, I will read Black Summer at some point. The manga, but the anime was hidden for me. I am so pissed about that whole scene that he didn't do with the elf girl. You know what I'm saying? Because you told me that. Because I would love to see that shit. But I think some isekais are, like I said, it depends. I think, we are in an era of like just doing it too much because that's when that's what's been selling. That's what people will watch, and that's what's helping you guys not like go out of business. But eventually there'll be a period where it's like, oh, another isekai, like seriously. So it's like, I think it's gonna get to that point where people are gonna be like, "Come on, man, you burned me out with all these. Give me something else."
Yeah, so yeah, I do agree. Like, there's kind of a bit of a burnout with Isekai because they're kind of just picking up whatever at this point,
Yeah,
and I'm kind of glad they did because now that we've got so many of those, now a bunch of more manhwas are starting to get picked up to get
right.
adapted.
What was the one? Solo Leveling.
Yeah, Solo Leveling's on the way, and
Can't wait for that.
That's hype. That's hype as fuck.
Yeah, it's
right now.
I'll say it's starting to get controversial now in the manga, which is
I understand why some people are getting controversial about it because of the changes to it, but it's understandable why, because there, I guess you could say there was kind of a narrative within the manhwa where there was like a hate towards Japanese because they made them the antagonists.
Oh yeah,
in one of the arcs.
Yeah.
So you can understand why they would make changes like that. And also you can understand why they make the changes of changing the nationality from Korea to Japan, because it'd be a little easier for them to adapt it. Because one, in the light novel, because recently they just got the adaptation over in Japan for the light novel. So that light novel has those changes, like with all the nationality changes. It makes it easier for them because they'll be able to, use more common names. They don't have to try and pronounce the Korean names. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be too hard because they did that with what was it called, God of High School, but it does make sense why they did it. And I don't blame them entirely. It's not going to change all that much because all it is just location and name changes. That's all it is. It's not going to change anything that is essential to the plot or the story. A lot of people are worried about the pacing, though, but that's just because you're comparing it to manga adaptations versus manhwa adaptations, because those are two entirely different things, and pacing can be handled differently. And there's also no one knows how many episodes there's going to be, so there's no telling. My prediction is that's probably going to have like 24 to 26, or they're going to split it into two parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my assumption.
Okay. For me, it's always been the idea of like, yeah, you guys have been pumping them out like Michael Bay films, Transformers, and they haven't all been good. And I said not all, but we got some diamond in the roughs like Shield Heroes, which is one of my favorites. Overlord is still popping, and Rimuru, Curtains of Slime. Love that. Like, those are my three best ones that I love a lot. Don't care for Re:Zero like that. I don't. Really don't. At some point I'll have to watch season 2, but
yeah, season 3.
A lot of people did not like
a while ago.
I'm hearing a lot of people did not like that shit.
Yeah.
My friend that watched it, he thought it was okay. Not mistaken. But God damn, they're getting blown out. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about that because I'm just hearing a little controversy with it, and also I just think that as many new anime come out, like there'll always be brand new ideas that be brought to the forefront. Because like I said, back in the time, we were like in the slice of life era, like a motherfucker. When I was in college, that was the whole thing. Like Katoro-san ended up being a gem that was really, really good that I fucking enjoyed to this day. I still give it 8.3 to it. Still one of my favorites, especially how it ended. It actually ended good. The perverted dude actually got the freaking girl. I was fucking happy about that. Oh, no, correct myself. Psychic or mind reading girl.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and she's like a cute little. I mean, not cute little girl, but she's like a cute girl with a short orange hair. Watch that. You'll like it. Watch Katoro-san. It's good. I like it. I love it. And it's comedy as fuck. But hey man, I enjoyed that, man. And also a series that I want to go back and I told Barry to rewatch that was really good to this day. It came out 2011, y'all. I was in college, so don't cheer it. This was freaking enjoyable to watch. It's called C3. Fucking awesome action series. Love it. Fucking love it. I'm about to go back and watch it. It's been how many years? 2011 and 2023. It's 13 years since I watched that. Shit. And I'm going to go back and rewatch that. It hasn't been that long since I've seen it. And I remembered how good that shit was when I remember saw scenes again. I was like, damn, that was good. Oh, man. Like it's actually like a seinen action freaking crazy. Like it's crazy. Both girls turn into weapons and they're fucking badass. Main character's a badass. He just knows what he's doing. I fucking love him. And all his girls are fucking weapons. Enough said. Yeah, check that one out, Jericho. That's a good one. C3 if you can find it. Anime C3. This shit is good. Cube X Cube. So yeah. But guys, with that being said, we're gonna end this podcast. And Jericho, do you have any last words you want to say to the audience?
Nope. I've said all I need to say.
And guys, I've said all I need to say. All I'm gonna tell you is that check out the series that we talked about, and also check out those two anime I just mentioned to you guys, Katoro-san and C3, which is Cube X Cube. And I want Jericho to actually watch that Cube one first. Actually, I want to get him to watch that one first and see what he thinks. That shit's crazy. He'll love that one because it actually will surprise him how good it is. Because even I didn't expect it when I first watched it in 2011. I was like, get the hell out of here. This is good, bro. Like, I need more of this. Nikui. But, guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this podcast to a close. If you're new to the channel, and if you want to check out Jericho, you want a channel you want to shout out particularly?
Yeah, so I'm currently building a new channel. It's not fully up yet, but I'll go ahead and link it here for you.
You heard the
but yeah, that's gonna be this is gonna be my main, not my main channel, but it's gonna be my channel where I'm gonna be posting primarily anime and manga content.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find me at. So if you go on YouTube, you do the @ now. It doesn't have like a URL, special URL anymore, but you just do @Jared the Degen. That's gonna be my anime tag for my anime content that I'm gonna start uploading on YouTube. Yeah, the video should start rolling out next week once I finish my timeline my timeline.
You heard him. Like I said, Jared the Indian. You heard him. And guys, like I said, me and my man Jericho will be doing collabs, particularly on certain series. And not just talking about it simply, but also we're going to be like, video editing, putting in things like, putting in background sound so you can actually watch it. The Simple Gear 1 that I talked about, guys, that's still in the making, guys. I said my script is done for it. I need to use an actual program when that Jericho recommended to me, which I'll be using soon. And we're going to be getting that baby going because Simple Gear is one of my favorite series, and I want everybody to understand why I am recommending it to you, why you should watch it first. And I'm going to do seasons. And I'm going to be honest and take away my bias. Because whenever you do videos, you got to take away your fucking fandom and review the actual quality based on the actual anime that was given to you. So, with that being said, guys, this has been your man Jay Takashi and my boy Jericho, man. Check out his channel. It's right here. And also, if you're new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe as always. If you have people who are into the anime content or manga content, please guys, subscribe here. Share the video all around. It actually helps. Like I said, it brings in subscribers, but also subscribe to my man Jericho when he gets his channel going. You heard what he said. It's right here. You can't miss it. And guys, with that being said, peace out. Drink tea, exercise, and drink some water, please. If you like coffee like Jericho, drink. Don't drink too much, but at least in my opinion, don't drink too much, but drink enough that it keeps you up without fucking up your body. Let me just correct that. Reason because Jericho, I'm pretty sure Jericho will tell you not to chug your life away or keep chugging that shit.
I do it because I like coffee and I'm intermittent fasting, so it just helps with hunger suppression.
Right. But he's doing it for an actual good reason. You guys are just chugging that shit like Starbucks.
Like it's water.
Oh yeah, all day from Sunday. That's why I can't get down on it. But guys, yeah, have a great night, y'all. And peace out.